What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, coming at you all the way live. I'm in your space and I'm in your face. And we are having a wonderful day. 12, 24, 25. It is now half past noon. And I'm only going to be here for a brief moment. I have some things I need to get squared away. I have a turkey I need to put in the oven later on. So I need to get that prepped up and ready to go. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you want to participate in this live or in some of the commentary that we push out through Industry Talk here on the Primetime Network, hit the DM, shoot me a email, or give me a buzz. Hard work, commitment, dedication, all of the buzzwords that for some odd reason um, terrify people when it comes to getting things done. Um, that is a surefire way to run people off when you have a game plan, when you have things that you wanted to get accomplished um, in your day to day in life. Hard work, commitment, dedication. Can you stay on task, on time and on task when it comes to the program? If not, um, it may not be for you. It may not be your lane. You may need to find a better way for yourself, you know. So I'm making reference to this because of accomplishment or completion of a task. And I had an opportunity to knock one of the things off of my list that I've been working on. And now the work really begins. And we're talking about Unshaken, the life of Keith Wallace, book that I've been involved with over the last year. And of course, these things take time. You know, it's not insta fame because I'm not looking for fame. It's not instant gratification. I practice delayed gratification. I'm used to delayed gratification because everything that you put your heart and soul and mind into takes time. And everything doesn't happen because of what the outside influences say it's supposed to happen. It happens in due time. Welcome to the line. Welcome to the live. Hussein, um, Allah 3, Duran Black, Carlos Parks. Welcome to the live. Appreciate you guys for joining. Jarian, um, thank you on that, Brother Black. Jarian Smith, um, and a few others that are on Facebook. I got to keep clicking back and forth to see who's on. But thank you guys for jumping on the line and getting back to what I was talking about. Being dedicated and committed to your program because it's not everybody else's program. They don't see your vision. They can't see your vision. So it's been over a year that we've been working on the book with Keith Wallace. And like I said, this delayed gratification of getting it out to the masses, having it ready for distribution, um, going through the publishing process, having it printed, and then inevitably doing promotion runs, podcast runs, book signings, um, Q and A's, motivational talks about the book, sitting down with different podcast affiliates that would have us or will have us on their shows and broadcast. All of that takes time, effort, energy, hard work, and dedication. It's not instant gratification. So the beauty behind it, and the beauty behind it all, to me, is the accomplishment of a mission, a task. We've completed the book, Unshaken, The Life of Keith Wallace. And now we have an opportunity to show the world this masterpiece of a work about the mind of an individual, the traumas of an individual, and the turmoils that an individual has gone through, and the resilience thereof with the same individual, and how he's come out on the other side to be notably one of the best artists, in my opinion, that's on the scene present day. Now, um, a lot of my friends have stories. Um, for example, Carlos Parks is on here, and he's telling me right now that he needs to relaunch his book as well, and we need to sit down and have that conversation. But Carlos has uh, a wonderful story about what he's gone through, um, from bricks to bricks, and there's a metaphor within what he's talking about. He's written manuscripts, he has movies, he has a litany of things that he has in the chute ready to go, but it takes time and perseverance, and you can't be faint at heart when it comes to um, getting these things accomplished, because no one sees your vision like you see your vision. And even within you seeing the vision, the timing of when success, quote unquote, is supposed to hit, we never really know, and we can't put a timer on it and say, well, it's going to sit there and hit for me on this day at this time. But you got the work done, it's accomplished, it's ready to go, it's ready for the masses, it's ready for the public to read, to consume, to enjoy. And now that you have an opportunity to present this over a broad stroke of a social media platform, from YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, you guys know all of the platforms, then you have to take full advantage of how to make these broadcast channels work for you, getting your messaging out. And of course, it's not a matter of getting it out to just anyone. It's about getting it out to the folks within your ecosystem that want to press the button and say, yes, I will support that effort. That's the beauty behind that. And Carlos, we need to sit down and talk. Give me a call, after the holidays, and let's focus on what we need to do to help you repurpose what it is that you want to do, and do a relaunch with your book, and see if we can't gain some mass appeal with the product that you have in hand right now, ready to go and ready for the masses. I'm in full support of that, and full support of what you have going on, my brother. And let's make that work for you, for your family. Blessings to all of you guys that are on live with me. And let's think about how we get into a position to support one another, not just financially, but support one another collectively across all of our platforms, so that our messaging gets out to the masses in such a way that it can't be denied. It comes out in such a fashion that it can't be denied. You know, because to be honest with you, our network um, within our label, within our um, network of affiliates, podcast affiliates, and the like, we stretch across the globe, and I mean that with intention. I say that with intention. Kaylin, KK, McCoy, welcome to the live. I appreciate you for joining us. Um, I say that with intention because I want you to think about this. Don Juan Misery, Moshe Benyata, Deron Black, all in the Kansas City region and surrounding areas. King Kehi, all a part of the family. Carlos Parks in the Carolinas, um, Terry Allred, all of those guys on the East Coast. Um, Diamore, Carolina, Azo, Capone, BMF Wavy, all on the East Coast. Emilio Sparks, um, Raw Escobars. He's traveling back and forth in from Atlanta to the West Coast to Texas. Coach Malachi down in Florida. Derek Bradley down in Florida, aka Knowledge. And I'm just mentioning the network and where we have fine points, data points of individuals within our network that can help push and press the narrative of any message that we want to get out to the masses. The Atlanta region, Keith Wallace, Tone the Goat, um, Alabama, Jarrell Braswell, Texas, Boss Talk, Podcast 101, ECO, the official Miss Jamaica, John Blaze with the Cloud Chronicles. We also have, of course, our West Coast family with Ferrer Ricky Ross, Ayatollah Marv, Melvin Farmer, and these are all individuals that are tied into our network in such a way that if we begin to disseminate information, I was just on with Brother Bobby Moore just the other day. He chimed in on the interview with me, and he's in Bakersfield, California. We got freeway ties out in Bakersfield as well. So just imagine once we have a collective unit of us pushing the same narrative, the same message throughout our social media networks, tying everything in together. There's no part of the continental United States that we don't touch. Not to mention overseas in the UK, we have Regine Gagne. I just posted her Christmas reel on my story on IG. Go check her out, definitely. Terry Cherry, Reality TV, all of these individuals that are part of what it is that we're doing, but everyone is on their own time right now because we don't have a collective motion. We haven't talked about a collective motion because everyone is working in sync, but we're still out of step. You can be working in sync, but you could be out of step. And there's nothing wrong with that because those things can be adjusted just by a conversation. Just by people getting together and say, hey, look, I'm pushing XYZ. Just like Carlos says he wants to reignite his book, Bricks to Bricks, and do the relaunch, then that's the methodology and the message that we need to begin to push. Like, share, comment, spread, purchase, the whole 9 yards. So you can't put yourself into a position where you believe that your family or your friends are going to believe in what it is that you're doing from the jump. Innately, they have no clue because they just see you as being the same old you. They never see you outside of that box until you accomplish what it is that you're set out or what you've set out to accomplish. And once you set out to accomplish it, then everybody's jumping for joy and everybody's happy, patting you on the back. Oh man, I knew you could do it. Everybody trying to hear that. Artists, individuals, and people that are creatives, content creators, and the like, public relations coordinators, social media directors, you name it. They want you on board with them from the beginning, because if not, hell, I could do this work by myself. No one wants to do anything by themselves. Everyone wants that collective pot of individuals joining the party and joining the show. Shay Waller, what's going on? Shay Waller 43, what's happening, sister? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the live. Everybody needs that support, wants that support. But when you're in the position of being the head of what it is that you're doing because it's yours, you don't ask people for anything. You just go get it done. And in the process of you getting it done, people see it along the way. Your biggest fans are people you do not know. You just have to get into tapping into that resource and into that outlet of people that are ready to pour into you, just like you're ready to pour into the world. I have no room to complain about anything. When I sit down and listen to some of the stories of some of my friends and what they've gone through in their lives, I can only keep them in my prayers, wish them well, and know that, God has blessed me with abundance and a wonderful life, and be thankful for that. I say that because Shay jumped online and she's here with us right now, and I didn't know what she had gone through as she came on with an interview with me not too long ago and expressed what she had to go through with breast cancer. I'm talking about all the caveats and the ups and downs of what she had to do being a single mother, dealing with this, and, you know, um, trying to take care of her family, all of the things that she had to deal with. I'm not going to rehash the story because it's one that I feel that she needs to put into a book, but one of the strongest minds when it comes to overcoming that I've sat down and talked with in a long time, you know. And I am so thankful that she's had an opportunity to survive her battle with breast cancer. And she's a living testimony to resilience, redemption, and not being given the, the easy way out when it comes to how we live our life. She's gone through it, you know. So that's just one of the stories. And I have had many. Like I say, I've talked with Carlos, I've talked to Deron Black, I've spoken with Freya Ricky Ross, Melvin Farmer, Ayatollah Lamar. I could give you a laundry list of all of the friends that I have that are part of our network that have gone through hell and back. And they will tell you that the one thing that is consistent is they kept God first in their life and they didn't give up. There was no giving up. There wasn't a matter of depending on someone else to get it done for them because they weren't living it. No one else is living what you're living through. And if you give up the fight, if you stop fighting, that's when it's over. That's when the darkness comes in and takes over and consumes you. It consumes your mind. Yeah, we can get in the gym, we can lift weights. I've been in the gym on the regular. I go in there every day. Well, I hadn't been. Let me stop. This week has been kind of rough for me because we're getting ready for the holidays. But I normally go in every day and work out my muscles. Lift some weights. But that's not the strongest muscle. That's a part of my body, my mind, my mind. So I exercise my mind. I love to read. I love to read the Bible. I love to read commentary. I love to read different books that motivate me. And within that, I keep my mind sharp. And yes, we can go through all kinds of turmoil. I'm built for it. I'm built for it. And it's true to form, the statement in itself. God's not gonna put anything on you that you can't bear. Because if the belief of it, and you have to think about that internally, if the belief of it is, you can't put anything on yourself that you can't bear or can't carry. It's your cross, to carry and move along your way. It's your burden. So I can't pass the buck. I can't put it on to someone else. I will not put it on to someone else. It's my responsibility. And like I say, I'm built for that. You know, um, I don't talk about my story a lot. I have one, but it's not my time to tell my story because there's a lot that comes with my story. And I want the full breadth of what it is that I want to put into my story to give out to the masses. Because it's a walking testimony of how I've lived my life. Have I been perfect? No, not by any means. Have I messed up along the way? Yes, every day. I got to check myself every day because I make mistakes every day. But I learn to correct myself and don't go back to doing the same things over and over again. I was just talking about you, Power Bob 12 12 2, Brother Bobby Moore. We were just talking about you, and some of the things that my friends have gone through and the connectivity that we have across the nation and the strength that we have, in the numbers that we have across the country, actually globally, to be able to pass a message, building our own digital ecospace and infrastructure, and getting and disseminating our messaging out to the people. And it all started with the spark of me completing this book, The Life of Keith Wallace, an impactful testimony of a young man that was falsely accused at the age of 14, sentenced at 15 to go serve time for 6 years in, an adult correctional facility. They didn't send him to a juvenile detention center. They sent him to, um, the penitentiary. And we're not going to go into the horror stories that individuals go through being put into that situation at a very young age, but Keith has gone through it. But to come out on the other side and to become one of the most prolific, hip hop artists, rap artists, messengers in the game today, it speaks volumes for who Keith is as an individual. So, um, I'm jumping on this thing today to give you guys some insight about what it is that we have going on, what it is that we're going to be doing moving forward, going into next year, 2026, jumping off the first quarter. Um, we'll be making the official announcement of when we're going to roll out the book. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, live at 5, we're going to be on this Squawk Box. I'm going to be a talking head now, a pundit, giving you my commentary, my opinion. If in fact you want to jump on this thing with me and do an interview, have conversation, let's talk about it. Let's get your messaging out. I'm all for it. Hit the DM, give me a call, hit me on the email, client support at gemsit.org, and let's make it happen. Be on the lookout for, um, the following. Okay. Roblo Escobars and Emilio Sparks will be dropping Divine Intervention sometime, in the first quarter. I want to say early January. We're going to be dropping that through Freer Records. We have a collaboration with Keith Wallace and Getty Blue out of Meridian, Mississippi. And of course, Keith is out of, Dade County, Miami, by way of Atlanta. We have some music that we've been working with. We have a record that we're going to push, in the first quarter, dropping that as well. Be on the lookout for XO Music, Getty Blue, Terry, Cherry, Azo Capone, Dia Moore, Carolina, Passport Scoob, just to name a few. Don Juan, Misery, King Kehi, Moshe Benyata, uh, on the artist list of musicians that you really need to pay attention to, that you're going to start seeing a lot of um, through our broadcast. When you have some time, if you haven't already, I need you to go like, share, comment, and subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101 Prime Time. Linking with my man Job Blaze and the Cloud Chronicles. Tap in with Coach Malachi and True Media Podcasting and True Media Boxing, one of the hottest boxing platforms present day that's out. Just to name a few. And of course, Don Juan Misery is going to be dropping his podcast here pretty soon. And I want everyone to link in with that as well. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to link up with me, please hit the DM, direct message on Facebook. Give me a call, 808-225-9063. Or hit me on the email, clientsupport@gemsit.org. If you have not become a member of the authors list, you can go to my IG links, the external links, pull the little drop down menu down in my profile, and it says authors list. I want you to click that link, submit your phone number, your name, and your email address, and become a member of the authors list so that you can get all the behind the scenes footage and information, documentary information, and the like about the book that we're going to be pressing and rolling out. We've been doing soft promos. You could be one of the first to get the book in hand through the early bird link. So lock in with us. Join us on this journey and have a good time with us as we make our way through with everything that we have going on. Like I said, I wasn't going to be on here long. I just wanted to come on and push a message and get some information out to you guys for today. Everyone, I appreciate you for joining the live. And let's start having open dialogue and conversation on a regular and consistent basis. Like I said, it's my push for every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to be live at 5 with you guys. Let's start pushing our messaging out to the people, because our network, our family, it's all incumbent upon ourselves and us and what we do as a unit. We actually have a pretty big family within this digital eco space of ours, and we can actually push the messaging. Last but not least, if in fact you are looking for a comedic host to come out and entertain you for a special event that you have going on, make sure you tap in with my brother, comedian Jarrell Braswell. Give us a call. Lock in with Jarrell on all social media platforms. And if you want to book comedian Jarrell Braswell to come host, feature, collaborative skits, do readings for movies or productions that you have in the shoot, give us a call, 808-225-9063. If in fact you want to book Keith Wallace for any types of events, motivational speaking and the like, give us a call. Hit the business line at 646-984-7804. That's 646-984-7804. And within 24 to 48 hours, we will be in contact with you to get you locked in with these guys on your calendar and put your event on their calendar, and we will be in your space and in your face to entertain in true form. Have a wonderful holiday. Have a blessed holiday, and keep yourself safe. Love your family. Love yourself. And you guys know with me, as always, it's about health, wealth, and wellness. Remember, stay dangerous.